right, so I beat Stray, and I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. Stray is it is good. It's not great, but I fully understand why the hype was there, especially for an indie game. But here's the twist, though. All right, I enjoyed the journey. I love the world. I like the puzzles, the little gameplay moments, the vibes, but the ending, man, the ending left me feeling empty. Like I finished the game and my brain went, wait, that's it? What happens next? Like, is there another chapter I'm missing? DLC? Like, that was the main thing it was in my head thinking about. Like, okay, so I guess this is it. And that is why my final score lands at a 3 out of 5. So if you somehow missed the wave, Stray is that cat game, third-person adventure. You're a stray cat. You're a stray cat dropped into this sealed off world of robots and neon and rust and secrets and stuff. The studio behind it is Blue 12 Studios, I believe, and it was published by Annapurna Interactive. I think I might have butchered that, I'm not too sure. And the pitch is simple but powerful. A tiny creature in a giant broken world trying to survive and find a way back. The best part, all right, I'm going to tell you guys about the best part. It's exploration plus the mystery for me. This is where the game really shines for me. Like Stray nails that feeling of wandering through a place like that has history. Not the kind of history you read on a plaque or the kind you feel in the air. The world is shut out, sealed up, and as you move deeper, the question grows louder. What happened to this place? Why is it closed off? What's outside? Who built all of this? Why does it feel like everyone is coping? But Stray does something smart. It doesn't dump expositions on you every 5 minutes. It lets the environment talk, the signs, the sounds, the little robot routines. In all, it feels like society that learned how to smile through the apocalypse. And for me, that was the biggest win. The atmosphere is the story, and I love it. I love finding out the nooks and crannies of what happened, what transpired here. You know, and look, being a cat isn't just a gimmick here. Those little cat behaviors add soul too. It's cute, but it also makes the world feel more real because you're not a soldier, you're not the chosen one. You're just a cat, just a small heartbeat in a giant metal rib cage of a city of that magnitude. And I love it. I love everything about that. It's fun. Gameplay wise, I describe Stray as light adventure plus light puzzles. The puzzles aren't trying to humble you, which is good too in a sense. They're there to keep you engaged, but keep you moving, keep you curious. And honestly, yeah, like I said, I personally I like that. I honestly like that. Sometimes you want a game that's not trying to make you solve calculus just to open a door. Stray's puzzles are more like pay attention, explore, put the pieces together. It's simple but satisfying, and yeah, it works. Now the stealth and chase stuff, that's where the pacing can spike a little bit. It adds tension, but depending on the section, it can also feel like the game briefly turns into a different genre. Not terrible though, just occasionally a little stiff in my opinion. And I think that's the part of what I land on. Good, not great. Because Stray is at its best when it's letting you breathe in the world, and at its weakest when it's forcing you through sequences that feel more designed than discovered, you know? But that's just my take on that. The good, not great part where it didn't fully stick for me, and this is my honest issue, Stray has a lot of moments that look like freedom, but the game is still pretty guided. Like you're exploring, but you're exploring inside a lane. And as the game goes on, some of the gameplay doesn't evolve enough to make the later hours hit harder than the early hours. It's still enjoyable the whole time, but it doesn't level up into something that makes me go, yo, this is special, you know? Instead, I'm thinking, yeah, this is solid. And that's not an insult. That's just the truth, you know? Stray's a vibe game first, a world game first, a mood first kind of game, which is why the ending matters so much, because when you're mainly playing for emotion plus mystery, the landing has to stick, you know, and the landing has to stick. Spoilers though. The ending is the part that disappointed me the most, not because it was badly made, but because it was emotionally incomplete. I didn't have enough time to process the loss of a character. I didn't have enough time. Like, I finished the game and felt this hollow pause, like I got cut off mid-conversation because the question I cared about most were still sitting there. Did the cat ever find his family? Like, the whole emotional anchor is get home. And when we don't get that closure, it feels like the game robbed itself of the most human moment it could have delivered. Do the robots leave the vault? We've been living in this sealed world. We finally crack it open, but we don't get to feel that what means for people who lived in that dark spot. Like, what does it mean for them? You know, we got to explore that factor of through other conversations, but it wasn't like fulfilling. You know, like, what happens next? Are we stepping into a new beginning, or just walking away from a story that still had blood in its veins? And that's why I say the ending left me empty, because it didn't feel like a final chapter. It felt like a door closing while the song is still playing. Now listen, open endings can be art. Open endings can be powerful. But for me, this wasn't poetic mystery. This was, wait, what? Am I getting DLC? Is there a part 2? Like, the game was building towards a reveal, a reunion, a moment, and then chose atmosphere over payoff. And I'm just like, and if we're not getting a sequel, then yeah, that ending is gonna sting even more. About a sequel though. Feature context, it's quick, it's factual, no rumors, but there is no official confirmation floating around in mainstream coverage that a sequel is in development, at least based upon past reportings, right? But the franchise isn't completely quiet either. An animated Stray film adaptation has been reported as in development through the Annapurna Animations. I don't know why not. I just don't know why it's hard for me to pronounce it. I don't know. Hopefully I'm saying it right. So yeah, the world might continue, just not necessarily as Stray 2, or it could continue in the animation. We don't know. But here's my final verdict. Stray gets a 3 out of 5 from me. That means worth playing if you like atmosphere, exploration, and a unique world. Worth experiencing if you enjoy story-driven indie adventures, especially to support indie games out there. But don't go in expecting deep gameplay evolution or a super satisfying wrap it up ending. If you're the kind of gamer that can live off vibes, visuals, and mystery, I guess this might be a 4 or even 5 for you. But if you need closure, if you need the game to finish the emotional sentence, you might end where I ended. I enjoyed it, but I was disappointed. And now I gotta ask you guys, did you play Stray? And if you did the ending work for you, or did it leave you feeling like, hold up, am I missing a chapter? Drop your take in the comments. No spoilers in the first line though. Be nice to people. And if you want to watch the full journey, my full Stray playthrough is up in parts on UR Gamer TV, so you can see the whole run from beginning to end. And but that one's no commentary, so don't expect no commentary on that channel. That's just me playing the game straight through, enjoying it on my own, you know, without having it be on stream or have a reaction. But yeah, I mean, that's just my personal take about this game. For what it's worth, it actually gave me, I went home wanting to play the game, you know, so it did give me that feeling of, yeah, I want to finish. I want to see what happens next. But yeah, that's it for me, guys. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye.